Today I'm going to show you how one employee sold Sam Walton on making the name of his new store, chain of discount stores titled Walmart. There's 5 steps in this I'm going to teach to you, and I'll give you the basic outline. The man had a specific goal. He identified this decision maker. He drew on his credibility as one of Walton's key employees. He appealed to one of Sam's core interests, and he used his knowledge of Walton as a person. So I'm Kirk Double K Barbera, and this is your business book tip of the day. It's only 7 letters. Sam Walton started making retail stores in Arkansas. He had a store called Benjamin Franklin's Variety Store, which he eventually turned into Walton's Five and Dime. But Sam Walton actually did not like having his name on the marquee. And when he was thinking about having a new chain of stores, he was looking for a name for that. And it was one of his key employees who eventually sold him on a name. But to do so, he had to overcome a couple of hurdles. And this is the story of how a man by the name of Bob Bogle convinced Sam Walton to name his stores Walmart. Now, as I mentioned, there were 5 basic things, and this comes from a note card from the book The Art of Woo, Using Strategic Persuasion to Sell Your Ideas. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what it looks like to sell an idea. So if you want to sell your boss, your wife, your husband, your friend, your coworker, an employee, a customer, if you want to sell them, this is the essence of what it looks like to sell an idea to somebody. So Bob Bogle's desire at this time was to sell Sam on the idea of using Walmart. But if you were to just go to him and say, Mr. Walton, I want you to name your future companies, your future stores, Walmart, which was a hyphenage between Sam Walton, Wall, and the Mart is an abbreviation basically of market. So it's Sam Walton Market, Walton Market, Walmart. That was where Bob Bogle came up with that idea. It's a good idea, but now convincing Sam to do it was difficult because Sam did not like that he already had a couple of stores with his name on it. Sam, I think it was Walton's Five and Dime. He didn't like that, and he didn't want more of his name there. So selling him on the idea of having his name on the marquee again was going to be very difficult. But Bob believed this was a very important way to do it. Important name. So here's the story. This is actually from the biography of Sam Walton, and I'm going to read this little section of what Bob Bogle did. And this is the story from Bob Bogle on how he convinced his boss to name his store Walmart. Quote, I scribbled W-A-L-M-A-R-T on the bottom of a card and said to Sam, to begin with, there's not as many letters to buy. I had bought the letters that said Ben Franklin, and I knew how much it cost to put them up and to light them and repair the neon. So I said, this is just 7 letters. He didn't say anything, and I dropped the subject. A few days later, I went by to see when we could start setting the fixtures in the buildings, and I saw that our sign maker already had the W-A-L up there and was headed up the ladder with an M. I just smiled and went on. So here's a breakdown of what just happened in that story. One of the key values of Sam Walton and Walmart, this is a Five and Dime, this is a discount store. The key value that they have in their organization is money, savings, making it as affordable as possible for the end consumer to buy products. That's what Sam Walton was all about. So what what Bob Bogle did was he, instead of appealing to Sam's ego and saying, I want you to name this Walmart, he said, you know what? Ben Franklin Variety Store has 16 letters in it. Costs a lot of money, Sam. This is a much more affordable affordable marquee. It's only 7 letters. So Bob appealed to Sam's core values. So here are the 5 things that is the essence of selling ideas to people. The first thing is Bob had a specific goal. It was written down. He knew exactly what it was. It was the result that he wanted was very simple. Name the store Walmart. The second thing is he identified the decision maker. Obviously, in this case, was Sam Walton. And in this case, he presented it to the decision maker personally. The third was Bogle drew on his credibility as one of Walton's key employees. So this would not have been as effective if it was the janitor or somebody that Walton had never met. It was a store manager who knew what he was talking about, who was good at managing a store. He had the credibility already. That's key. 4, Bob Bogle appealed to one of Sam's core interests, a single-minded focus on cost. Walmart became amazingly successful because it drove down the cost of retail products. One of the ways they did that was they saved money everywhere they possibly could. And in this case, at the beginning with just the marquee letters. And 5, Bogle used his knowledge of Walton as a human being. So, he was able to pitch this to the person he knew, to pitch to Sam and walk away and to leave it there. That's how Bob Bogle, he knew Sam Walton very closely in this instance and what to do. So those are the 5 things that are necessary to sell an idea, from the art of woo, using strategic persuasion to sell your ideas. My name is Kirk K. Barbera, and remember, reading is not a passive activity. Reading is a contact sport. So go out there and make some contact.